In the fall of 1993, dump trucks rolled onto a quiet site in Texas to fill 14 miles of finished tunnels. They poured massive volumes of dirt and debris down deep vertical shafts, entombing a $2 billion taxpayer investment. This buried labyrinth was the Superconducting Super Collider. Designed in the 1980s, it was the project intended to secure American dominance in high-energy physics. This map shows the footprint of the facility. To find the Higgs boson, the God particle, engineers drafted a circular track with a 54-mile circumference. You could fit the entire island of Manhattan inside that ring with room to spare. Inside this loop, 2 beams of protons would be accelerated to 20 trillion electron volts each, generating collisions that recreated the energy levels present fractions of a second after the Big Bang. Underground, the massive excavation was progressing exactly on schedule. Construction crews had already finished 14 miles, or 22.5 kilometers, of the tunnel, using enormous boring machines, leaving behind these reinforced concrete corridors. With $2 billion already spent and the physical infrastructure working as intended, the question remains why the government chose to abruptly cancel and bury the project. The project centered on Ellis County, Texas. This region served as the logistical hub for the thousands of workers required to build the collider. Beneath the soil, the construction phase was a success. The tunnel boring machines maintained a steady pace through the Texas bedrock, encountering no major mechanical failures or structural delays. Every technical test confirmed the design was viable, the underlying physics were solid, and the magnets and sensors were performing to the exact energy specifications required by the researchers. Because the engineering and the science were performing correctly, the reasons for the project's sudden termination must be found above ground. While the machines were working, the administration was struggling. The project cycled through 4 different managers in rapid succession, resulting in a lack of consistent long-term leadership. This chart shows how the financial estimates for the project quickly diverged from the original budget. Since the United States was attempting to fund the project without significant foreign investment, there was no financial cushion to absorb these rising costs. There was also a shifting political motive. The Super Collider was a product of the 1980s, born as a high-stakes effort to demonstrate scientific superiority over the Soviet Union. When the Cold War ended, that specific justification disappeared. The collapse of the Soviet Union removed the pressure to outpace a superpower rival in the lab. In this new geopolitical environment, politicians in Washington turned their scrutiny toward the project's price tag. Without a Cold War enemy to justify the expense, the massive budget became a political liability. The Super Collider was trapped between 2 pressures, a rapidly growing budget and the sudden loss of its primary political defense. In October 1993, Congress voted to cancel the Super Collider. To ensure the project could not be restarted later, they ordered the finished tunnels to be filled with drilling spoils. The surface facilities were eventually sold off, and the multi-billion-dollar tunnel system was left to flood with groundwater. The search for the Higgs boson moved to Europe. By forming a coalition of dozens of nations, the CERN laboratory in Switzerland shared the financial costs and provided stable, multi-decade management for their own collider. This international approach worked. In 2012, researchers at CERN's Large Hadron Collider officially announced the discovery of the Higgs boson. The European machine was smaller than the one planned for Texas, but it succeeded because the project was insulated from the budget shifts and political volatility of any single nation. Today, the flooded tunnels in Waxahachie serve as a reminder that the momentum of scientific discovery relies as much on stable political consensus as it does on the capability of the machines themselves.
Like, share, and comment. Subscribe.